My name's Chandler, and this is my part E on my physics project for Newton's second law. Some additional facts of Newton's second law is it actually covers a change in mass as well, like in rockets and not just constant mass as most people think. Some additional interest is one thing that I found that was really cool was finding out people use Newton's second law in everyday machines like cars and robots. We use cars literally all the time. We're like opening a door, pushing a door open. It's Newton's second law. Overall summary, my point of view, I definitely learned a lot. I was really not aware of Newton's second law. Like, I knew of it, but I didn't really know in depth of what it really meant and really realized like how much we used it every day. The most important part, in my opinion, is finding out how much we use Newton's second law in everyday life. The easiest part, not gonna lie, is making a video and putting it together and doing the video part. The hardest part is finding all the information. The most surprising part for me is, again, how often we use it. Like, it blew my mind on if I really think about how often I use Newton's second law, it blows my mind. And then these are my relevant sources. I mainly used NASA's article on Newton's second law that really helped me a lot, and then this second one helped me a lot. It was a lot easier to read than NASA's, so that's what I used.
Hi, my name is Kathy Kim, and this is part E of our group project, the last and final part of our group project. Hallelujah. And starting off on 6.1 for additional facts. So some additional facts I think are interesting are, of course, Newton was the person who created the forbidden calculus that we still use today. It is very much essential to our everyday life. He also wrote a book. Hopefully I don't butcher this too bad. Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematician. It's still a book that is still used very regularly. It's the basic classical of mechanics. Going down to 6.2, additional interest that I found that was interesting to myself. Well, we still use Newton's formula every day in our everyday life. I really thought that this project was going to be just like plugging and chugging like calculus is essentially, but it actually helped me better understand what the force is and how, you change the mass. You use different formulas. It's not just a specific force equals mass times acceleration. There's a lot of different areas and formulas that you would have to change, like if there's a change in the force, if there's a change in the acceleration. So to be exact with my project, the formula that I used was acceleration equals force divided by mass. If I were to add friction to it, it would have been a totally different formula as well. So understanding the laws of this formula, how applying more dogs increases the acceleration is what I found interesting about it. And then overall summary, 6.3. So the project went very well. Really no complaints. Most important part was understanding that acceleration depends on both force and mass. The easiest part was picking numbers that I could work with, and I eliminated friction, so it wasn't difficult for me to figure out. The hardest part, honestly, was fully understanding how to set up my problem and to be able to explain it. Like, that was a little nerve-wracking for myself, but I did it. And then how easy physics can be and understand when applying all of this. And then relevant sources, I used quite a bit. I specifically really liked sciencefacts.net. I used that throughout the entire semester, actually. Let me go and click on it really quick. I thought it was really cool. It gives a really good breakdown of everything. Really and truly, if you were to click on physics, I mean, anything and everything, it's a really good breakdown of stuff. Another source that I really liked was, he is on YouTube and his name is Organic Chemistry Guy.
Let's talk about the first one.
Well,
what exactly does
it's a really long video actually, but that was some of my sources that I used for this project that made it happen for me. So yes, thank you. That is the end of my project for project part E.